Crash. Good day or night to you and welcome to the Gaming Tome. This time we're going to do something different. I'm just going to tell you a story of something funny that happened while I was crafting some miniature terrain. This is the story of Sir Gilbert and how he was lost, and also how he was found. This story begins where most good stories do, with me buying shit on the internet. A while back I bought the Zombicide Huntsman pack, which is a Kickstarter exclusive for Zombicide Fantasy. There are 4 flavors of Zombicide. There's Modern Times, there's Sci-Fi, that one's really cool. They haven't released anything new for it for a while though. There's Wild West Zombicide, and then there's Fantasy Zombicide, which is swords, sorcery, and zombies. You can't go wrong with that combination. I didn't get it through Kickstarter. A bunch of online retailers snagged up some copies of the Kickstarter packs, and then I guess no one bought them. Maybe they were overpriced. This went on sale and was super cheap, so I got it. This pack contains a bunch of extra models to add on to your game of Zombicide, such as peasant zombies, werewolf zombies, wolf zombies, just wolves. They don't have the were part, but they're zombies, so they're not just normal wolves. But the main meat of the Huntsman pack that the pack of zombie wolves are gonna be tearing into are the player character models. All of the character models are based off of characters from fantasy shows and movies. Some of the characters I recognized, most of them I did not. That menagerie of heroes and a few scattered villains are what really caught my eye. One thing nice about this kit is that it comes with these character cards that they show like the abilities that the characters have in Zombicide, but it also on the back shows the character's artwork. Like look at this guy. It's Ash Williams from Army of Darkness, and Evil Ash. And then there's who else? There's Sean Connery as a monk from something. I didn't see that one. Just because I'm a monk doesn't mean that I don't have an axe to grind. But the models that I was most excited about are these 4 at the end, which are from Monty Python and the Holy Grail. You got King Arthur, Sir Robin, the not quite so brave as Sir Lancelot, and then there's Tim the Enchanter, the guy who's just shooting fireballs, played by John Cleese. And then there's a model of Sir Bedivere, the knight that joins King Arthur's quest to find the Holy Grail at the end of the scene where he is educating the peasants on how to logically, very questionable logic, how to determine that the woman they want to burn is in fact a witch. This model is known as Gilbert in Zombicide, and this is where we focus in on the real story. The Zombicide Huntsman pack went through a few cycles of going into the pile of shame, a little bit of work being done on them, and them going back into the pile of shame, until a few weeks ago when I decided these models have sat here long enough. I'm gonna paint them. So I took the models out, set them on the crafting table, got all the cards out, laid the cards out, matched them up to the models, and I would paint most of them based off of the cards' artwork. But when I was matching the cards to the models, I noticed that there was no model to match to Gilbert's card. Normally, I'm really good about keeping track of where things are, or at least putting them back where they belong. Life tip: have a place for everything, and when you're done using it, put it back in that place. Don't just leave it out. But usually I'm really good about not losing things. And so it surprised me that I had lost a miniature. I did not know where Gilbert had gone. But I had 2 ideas. The first idea was when I was priming the miniatures, I dropped Gilbert and then stepped on the model and broke it. The problem with that idea, though, is that I know that even a broken miniature is useful. Just paint it gray, give it a light gray or white dry brushing, and it looks like a statue. I don't think I would have thrown away a model that I stepped on. The other possibility revolves around where I airbrush the miniatures. I do it outside in a cardboard box that I set up next to this old brick barbecue, but we've never used it because it's always been infested with spiders. It's just nasty in there. Maybe the model fell in that pit and landed in all the ashes at the bottom, and spider webs and leaves and gross things. Gilbert could have fallen in the barbecue. I looked down there and I didn't see him. I didn't really care that much though. It's just one miniature. I came to accept that Gilbert was gone and I would have to complete the Huntsman pack without that miniature. And so that's what I did. I painted the rest of the models, I put them on my shelf to cure, I varnished them, and then I moved on. I crafted some miniature terrain, and a few weeks ago, when I was using my hot glue gun, I reached into the bag of hot glue sticks, and guess what came out? Sir Gilbert. Gilbert had been found, but this was the last place I was expecting to find this miniature because, okay, the Huntsman pack had been on my shelf in the pile of shame for so long, like at least a year. This bag was full, I think, a year ago. So Gilbert must have fallen into the bag when it was full. So there must have been barely any room for that model to be fitting inside this bag. And yet, I've been pulling glue sticks from here, not noticing there's a miniature inside. For a whole year, I had to get down to like 10 glue sticks left to notice there was a frickin' model inside. But pulling the model out of the hot glue stick bag did jog my memory a little bit. I vaguely remember having all the primed models on a sheet of cardboard and putting it on my table where I have a pile of craft supplies and stuff. I put the models there before moving them to the pile of shame shelf, the shelf of shame, if you will. And what could have happened was that I bumped the table. Sir Gilbert toppled off the edge of the cardboard sheet into the bag of hot glue sticks, but the opening to the bag is pretty small, so it must have been a perfect shot into there. You're a sneaky one, Sir Gilbert. This model had been hiding under my nose this entire time, but now he is found, and I gotta paint him. Good news is, the Huntsman pack will be complete. The bad news is that I thought it was complete, but it's not. It's not complete now. So I gotta get to work painting this. Also, I don't remember where I put the models that I painted from this pack. So I need to search for that now. So anyway, that's my silly tale of a miniature that was lost and found. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like. If you did not, then tell me why. If you have a story of something that you've lost and found again and somewhere you weren't expecting to find it, then share it down in the comments below. As for me, I'm just gonna spin myself out of frame. Whoa! I'm spinning. Oh.